I do think that children are the future.
Your entire deal is being a piece of shit really loudly. So why can't other people be normal loudly?
Well,
I don't care.
No, guys, respect this First Amendment, man. It's fine. But this is the package that I'm talking about. Anyway.
Myron Gaines destroys this beta feminist, attacking him in this heated debate. As this guy steps up attempting to defend the modern 304s, Myron Gaines shuts down this pathetic attempt and the rest of his leftist propaganda. Let's get in.
What's up?
Hi, I was just curious. What do you think is the benefit of using words like whore to describe women? Like, who is that actually benefiting here? Besides yourself for, riling up a bunch of people for your own personal benefit.
Well, I would say the word whore is kind of funny. I've seen a couple people laughing, so I think that's who we benefit. And I think tone policing and, being politically correct, that's what's led to a lot of the problems that we have now in society. So I think sometimes people just need to be candid, and if that means being a bit offensive to do it so that you can be memorable, I think it's worth it.
What problems specifically do you think are caused by not being respectful to other people?
What problems are created by not being respectful?
Yes. Like, if you're using slurs to describe people, I would not call that respectful. What problems are caused by not being respectful here?
Well,
what problems are caused by being respectful here?
Well, here's the thing. The reality is we live in a very, how do I say this? We live in a TikTok world. And what I mean by that is you only have a little bit of time to get people's attention to really get a message across. So sometimes you need to break the silence or break the OODA loop that people are in when the swipe thing, and sometimes you have to speak in a polarizing manner to get people's attention. So I'd rather, if I say something like, yeah, women need to stop being dumb bitches and whores, but, oh my God, this guy's crazy. And then I can go ahead and expand on why feminism is a problem, why guys need to go into relationships with their eyes wide open, why the family courts are set up in a position to destroy you, etc. So being polarizing is very important to getting a message across in an era where a lot of people have low attention spans, etc.
Okay, so if you're in personal benefit,
actually, it benefits the person that's listening a lot of the times.
Disagree there.
I mean, I have thousands of guys that write me that say, "Hey, I was gonna kill myself and I decided not to after watching your content." I'll actually tell you a quick little story. One time, a guy said he wanted to end it all because his life was miserable. And he found a nice little tree that had a good view of the sunset, right? And he was gonna, hang himself. And what ended up happening is he was surfing YouTube one day, and he found one of my videos where I talking about not being a simp, taking responsibility. Every guy can increase their sexual market value, etc. The guy's alive today, has a family, makes 6 figures, and he said it's because he found that video that he canceled the day that he was gonna kill himself, and he has a family now. So to me, I look at it like if I gotta call some women whores for that, so guys can wake up and realize that, there's another way, I think it's worth it.
Your sign says transgenderism is a mental illness.
Yes.
How many people do you think that has made a little bit more want to kill themselves?
You mean like trannies that want to kill themselves?
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. They already had a mental illness. Me telling them they have a mental illness doesn't change anything. They've already had these problems.
That seems a bit circular, but
yeah, they have way
seems
bigger
a bit circular to say that somebody
they have way bigger problems than me calling them fucking insane, dude. They got way bigger problems.
If you weren't calling them insane and you just let them be people, and we didn't have to make this an issue, do you think that they would still want to?
Well, here's the thing. I'm not saying I hate trannies. I'm not saying that we need to get rid of them or whatever. I'm just saying that they have a mental illness and they shouldn't be around children. That's my biggest thing is I don't think, hell, I'll take it a step further. I don't even think gay men should be around children. I don't think they should be allowed to adopt kids. And if I had my way, I would put gays in their own part of town. And the reason why...
Love to hear that. Love to hear that.
Well, I'll go ahead and expand on this. I don't think children should be exposed to homosexuality at all.
What do you think I'm going to do here?
Huh?
What do you think I'm going to do here?
What do you mean you do here?
Yeah, what do you think the gays are going to do to the children exactly?
Well, okay. So my thing is I don't like public displays of affection, right? I don't like PDA. Okay. Even between heterosexual people. I don't think it's appropriate in front of children especially. So my thing is is I think gays need to go back in the closet. We don't want to know you're gay. We don't need the flamboyant, parade marches and everything else like that. And if you want to go ahead and have your gay clubs and make out and do all the other degenerate stuff, no problem. Just do it in your own area, and I don't think kids should be seeing it at all, because
Dude,
I do think that children are the future.
Your entire deal is being a piece of shit really loudly. So
Okay.
why can't other people be normal loudly?
Well,
I don't care.
No,
think I give a shit?
guys, respect this First Amendment, man. It's fine. But this is the faggotry that I'm talking about. Anyway, so we got to combat this, guys. But it's cool because we can have a discussion, right? It's very important to have these discussions. So thank you for being up here.
Of course.
Again, I think, okay, so my worldview is this. Children are the future. Children need to be protected. And if that means that we need to do certain things in society to protect said children, I'm willing to do that. So I don't think it's appropriate for gays and lesbians and other people that are sexually degenerate to be around children and or even be able to adopt them. I think that's a problem, right? If they want to become an adult and then they want to learn about homosexuality and everything else like that later on, that's fine. But they can do that when they're an adult and their brain is fully developed, so they can kind of have their own worldview. But I don't think it's fair to children when they're still developing, still going through life, etc., to see these things. So that is a big reason why I have the worldviews I have when it comes to trannies and gays. I don't think kids should ever be exposed to that. I think rainbow flags should be completely banned. I think if it was up to me, I'd put gays in their own little part of town where they can go ahead and practice homosexuality openly. They can do their parades, everything like that. But then when they come into regular society, we don't want to see any of that.
Let me know down below if you agree with Myron Gaines' idea of basically separating the gays off into their own little part of town and just having that kind of divide between normal society and their society. Because a part of me, I mean, I can understand the sentiment. The parades that they have in San Francisco, the queer stuff just absolutely literally everywhere. You've got it in the schools, you've got teachers pushing this. This is an ideology that has been pushed on children intentionally in the media, in the culture, in the educational system, and you've been told you were a bigot and you're shame if you ever even question any of this. And no, absolutely not. It's messed up. Kids should not be anywhere around it. You get these drag queens out of this, whatever story hour that they do in the schools or whatever. Get rid of all of that crap. It has no place around children. But it's always like a leftist to come up complaining about somebody using a word or hurting somebody's feelings and coming to the rescue. But this is exactly why the left can't solve its own problems, because they can't have the discussions that need to be had in order to find the solutions to the problem, because they're so soft, so sensitive, and so basically screen for any language that could possibly offend anybody. You can't get to the point. You can't figure anything out to basically solve the problem. So these people are just running in circles, blaming everybody else for their own destruction, because all of them are refusing to do the adult thing and handle their own problem. But hit that like button and notification bell if you're enjoying the video. And if you want to help support the channel, check out the link in the description, and let's get back in.
I guess the last question. Do you think that that's protecting parents from having to deal with the fact that their kids aren't cishet? Or do you think that it's like, I guess here's the point. How is that protecting the kids? Because presumably some of those kids are going to be trans or gay. And if you're spending all of this time trying to make sure that they don't know about trans or gay people, then they're just going to think that there's a problem with themselves. And that's not very fun for anybody. I don't think it is. I don't want anybody to feel that way. So why should we be trying to make other people feel worse about themselves for no fucking reason?
Sure. Well, number one, kids can barely wipe their ass properly. They don't know if they're gay or not. You know what I mean? They don't know anything, right? And I'll give you guys an example. Every single one of us here probably grew up with like that one girl who's a fucking tomboy. She always wants to play basketball and hang out and play Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever it is. I'm showing my age here. Maybe Magic the Gathering. I don't know. But she grows up and I want to be around the boys. What ends up happening? She turns 18, then all of a sudden she's a girl again, right? She's like wearing dresses, she's being pretty, etc. And you're like, what the hell happened? Okay. Well, imagine if she had said, I think I'm a boy. And then she goes ahead and gets transitioned and fucks her life up, right? But she grew up out of that and realized, no, I'm a girl. So kids don't know anything. And I don't think we should be deferring to them based on what they think they feel or their sexuality or whatever. It's like, she's like, oh, I'm a boy. No, you're not, bitch. You're a girl. And then boom, she grows up and she'll end up thanking you for not, transitioning her. So I don't think children should be making those types of decisions whatsoever because they can ruin their life in the process.
I think it's a bit weird to use the word children for people that are like usually at least well into their teenage years. But
I don't even think in their teenage years they should be able to make that decision.
What about at 18? What's your opinion there?
Well, at that point,
out of curiosity,
yeah, at that point, maybe there could be a conversation. But I think when they're still kids and teenagers, they don't know anything. All of us. I'm 35 now, and I'm showing my age here. But looking back, I'm like, wow, my parents were right about a lot of stuff. It takes a significant amount of time for people to look back and realize, like, oh, they were right, or oh, I was wrong here. So I do think that 18 is like the bare minimum where we can even entertain this conversation. But even then, I still think people aren't developed enough a lot of the times.
Do you think that people know that they're straight or cis by the time they're 18?
Well, that goes on a case by case. But I don't think you're case by case, I'd say.
Okay.
But I'd say the majority of the time they're probably straight.
I don't think we're going to get any here anyway after this. So thank you.
No problem.
Just wanted to talk for a little bit.
Thank you for coming.
You all have a good night.
Talking. And guys, I know you guys were like, picking on him a little bit, but we do need to have these discussions with the other side. I think it's very important because if you don't have these discussions, you guys aren't able to make your own opinions, right? So
for better or worse, Myron Gaines is absolutely right. We need to have these conversations so we can at least see and understand what the other side is thinking, and then you can actually come to a solution. This is the thing that adults do that the left in and of itself can't do. They can't have these hard discussions. They get too offended, they get too agitated, and they just break down. But you can't solve the problems of civilization, society, government, everything that's going wrong right now until you have them and come to an agreement, a solution, some sort of a plan moving forward in order to make things better. Otherwise, we're all just left running around trying to, catch our own tail. But thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you thought about what Myron Gaines had to say, completely shutting down this feminist in this debate. Thanks again, like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.